Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to finish up the round of 16 here at the DreamHack Open Valencia 2015. We've gone through all the matches up to the round of 8 tonight with just 2 more to be decided. One will be played out right here on this stream, and of course the other one being played simultaneously on our partner stream. We've got TaeJa versus MorroW, the first, the only TvT that we'll have had today, and this is a pretty interesting one, guys. We've talked about how we've not talked about TaeJa. We've done a good job of not talking about TaeJa.
I mean, yeah, he's a great player, and we kind of touched on him. He's like he's won a lot in the past. He's had a great amount of success overseas in the past, but it's been some time since that has actually happened. So it's very curious to see how he's going to be playing here today, and I can't wait to see him play this match.
That's a yearly cycle, though. There's always a period of time after, he has a really hot stretch between summer and winter, and then he sort of seems to slump. You say, oh, TaeJa's going to fall off now, and then he just comes roaring back like nothing happened. And
you were talking about how summer is kind of around that time for TaeJa.
Yeah. And right now, when we saw him earlier today, I asked him, hey, so how's the game going? And he's like, not so well. It's the answer he always gives before he goes off on a big run. He never says, oh, I'm really good, I'm going to win, I'm playing really well right now. He always downplays how good he is, and then it just shows up in tournament results.
So we should be expecting him to win this based on how bad he's feeling about his game.
Yeah, I mean, if we go with that, logic train, I think we're in a really, really good spot to have TaeJa just completely sweep the whole thing. But it is funny though, because we also talked about it, off during the break. We're like, oh, it's still pretty close to Hero in that bracket as well. And then those guys have faced off. They have such a history of playing each other in DreamHacks. Several DreamHack finals, DreamHack Winter finals, DreamHack Summer finals, and then, of course, trading titles between the two of them basically nonstop. And then you have to look at the other guy who's MorroW, definitely a player that's been very competitive in WCS, at least, qualifying at a pretty reasonable rate. But he hasn't had that big breakout performance this year.
Yeah, even just reaching the round of 16 at this tournament is one of his better results in quite a while at a big weekend LAN.
Yeah, so the real question I guess we have to ask ourselves is if there's one thing that TaeJa is known for, whether or not he's winning tournaments, it's got to be crushing the dreams of any non-Korean player that he runs into.
He certainly has done that a lot, yeah. And he could very well do it today. MorroW is a great player, but we just don't get to see much of him. And yeah, he doesn't have that much success.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we talked about it before also, when players are kind of feeling like they're not playing that well, they kind of get more comfortable because there's less pressure. They're like, maybe I won't do so well. Then they end up just exploding, because they are playing so comfortably and so well. I mean, TaeJa's been at a million of these tournaments. I'm sure he's right here in his comfort zone. I'm sure he's going to do just fine.
Yeah, TaeJa's progression has been an interesting story, since he's one of the players, much like Hyun, who was also coming off of this cold period we talked about, where these guys were competing in WCS NA last year, and they were picking up really high results consistently throughout the year. And now they've had to go back to play in the Korean leagues, and we haven't seen them reach the same echelons. Do you guys feel that has a heavy influence? I mean, you guys get to see the level of competition that they go up against.
Yeah. Well, we certainly seen TaeJa try back in Korea, and he really did get stomped pretty badly this year. We pretty much just haven't seen him at all over there. He doesn't seem to be qualifying that often, or if he does, he doesn't make it far beyond the challengers sort of things.
It's only 1 or 2 times, and then he just gets knocked out right away.
Yeah. And to TaeJa fans, it's got to be upsetting considering the pretty good run that he had even at BlizzCon at the end of last year. We can take another look at the brackets for those of you just tuning in. For those of you who want to just get a quick refresher of where everything stands. On the left side of the bracket, we have our round of 8 matches. We have Patience playing against Fantasy, and Marine Lord facing off against Curious as the only non-Korean player so far in the top 8. Potentially now, of course, we have True playing up against Hero tomorrow, and then where we're rounding things out, Hyun is going to be playing Hearthstone on our B stream, while TaeJa takes on MorroW. The last 2 chances for non-Korean to make top 8. Pretty tough matchups for both of them.
Yeah, it doesn't look very great because, we touched upon how TaeJa's very likely to stomp MorroW in this match. And on the other side, Hyun versus Hearthstone is an interesting rematch from last DreamHack where Hyun took a commanding 3-0 victory. And it looked close at times. It looked like Hearthstone was on the verge of maybe stabilizing and trying to fulfill his game plan. But at the end of the day, it wasn't really that close.
Right. I think the Hearthstone does have a better chance against Hyun than MorroW probably does against TaeJa.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree there for sure.
Straight up.
Yeah, if there's one thing that most foreigners, when you're, regardless of who the player is, like if it ever comes down to playing mirror, especially, and even more so, I'd say like all the foreign Terrans that we've hyped at this tournament basically said, please don't make me play TvT against a Korean. MorroW has to do that now. So the biggest challenge that he'll probably have to face so far, you know, if he's able to overcome this, then goodness knows what could happen next, especially if Harstem takes out Hyun. But it looks like we actually have the match ready. We're ready to go. So for the final series of the night, we're going to kick it back over to Valdez and Moonglade.
Thank you once again for joining us here. We're going into the last series of the night. Of course, the TvT on the way, TaeJa versus MorroW.
Yeah. I keep calling him MorroW. I'm sure I'm going to do it throughout this cast, Valdez. We're so used to saying that name, but MorroW. MorroW is the player. He actually streams a lot, or used to at least. I was always a big fan of his stream.
Yeah. You know, just always seeming to come to a lot of these tournaments, but not the greatest results overall, as they were saying. I think TaeJa definitely the favorite coming into this one.
Yeah, certainly so. TaeJa's TvT is something else as well.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a kind of his tournament. It is summertime. So he's looking for a big win. He's looking for that comeback. He certainly hasn't had much success in Korea this year.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're about to jump into game number 1 here between these two players. This is going to be on Cactus Valley, and up in the top left in the red, one of our Terran players here, it is MorroW.
I knew this guy 5 years ago, Valdez.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Bottom left, we do have the Liquid player, TaeJa.
There he is.
Talking to himself, singing a song.
Whatever you got to do to make yourself feel comfortable, I suppose.
It's been a long time since we've seen TaeJa, you know, sit in a booth or, you know, playing career even. It's good to see him back. It'd be great to see him go pretty far in this.
Yeah. Looking at almost... Well, I don't want to count MorroW out just yet, but as we said before, TaeJa definitely the favorite, but TaeJa already making top 16, looking pretty good overall so far.
Yeah, so far so good. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to match up against what MorroW has planned. No doubt a player that likes to go mech on occasion. So it's a nice big map for him to do so as well. TaeJa's going to have to apply the pressure early if he wants to stop that from getting to the late game. And
we already see the gas being taken here, even on this gigantic map. Does not care. We're going to want to just put on that aggression. The by-air distance here is not so bad, actually. TaeJa can fly straight into the main and put on that heavy harass damage if he so wants to.
It's a great effort there by Funker to make it all the way down there.
Good scrolling, good scrolling.
It's good scroll. And yeah, it's not too bad. You can definitely do the damage early on. Especially if we are seeing MorroW go for a more greedy build. Everything normal for MorroW. It's the one, TaeJa definitely the one looking to be a little bit more aggressive here.
Yeah, MorroW just going to go with the Reaper builds here. Just wants to get that scouting information as soon as possible. We do see him even send out an SCV to find the location of TaeJa as fast as possible.
Yeah, really wants to figure out what's going on. TaeJa, on the other hand, just going straight into that very quick factory. Going to be SCV scouting of his own, not just yet. After this supply depot.
Yeah, so just looking forward to see what kind of build he's going to throw out here against MorroW. We do see the Reaper now coming out here, and he's even going to go for multiple Reapers. This could actually definitely catch out TaeJa if he doesn't have enough units out just yet. He's only making his first Marine now. Or he's actually got one. Yeah,
he's got one so far. Second one going to be out by the time that Reaper makes it down. But, you know, when multiple Reapers are on the map, damage can occur a lot easier. Can fight the Marines. Depends what we're going to see from TaeJa after that factory. Just going to be simply straight to that starport. Tech lab on the way as well. Reaper's going to be looking for that scout.
The good positioning there on the Marines to force that Reaper out here. Maybe once he gets the second one across the map, he can start to put on that damage. Or even just go for the scout straight up.
Yeah, start trading with those Marines as well. You know, a lot of opportunities there. Doesn't want to lose him this early though. It's going to really quell the aggression that he has potential for as he makes, you know, that factory as well.
Yeah, Just going to spread out these Reapers, I suppose. Make sure that nothing can come out here. Oh, he's even going to find a little spot over here on the left side. He's going to get into the main and see everything.
Oh, that was beautiful. He's going to see that very quick Banshee on the way. TaeJa starting up that cloak as the Reapers in vision.
He even got a kill.
Oh, well, there you go. Really nice play there. You know, he sort of poked in slightly with one Reaper to force the Marines out of position and jumps in the back way.
Oh, yeah.
Really smart play. A little bit of a lead there, you know, just getting that very important scout off so he can have what he needs to deal with Banshees early on.
And look at this, even one Marine getting too far ahead of himself. Going to be taken down by another Reaper out of the map. TaeJa just going to be forced back for now to stay in his base with the Marines, defend against those Reapers. He does have Banshees with Cloak on the way as well as Widow Mines.
Yeah, still staying with Cloak. You know, he kind of researched that underneath the vision of the Reaper. Doesn't decide to cancel it though.
Yeah.
So I thought it might have been a mind game, but it looks like it's just part of the build order that he's going to just go with.
Yeah, well, we've seen this time and time again from MorroW, of course, the Korean player that plays for the generic Green Wings. In this matchup, he loves his Banshees. He gets Cloak a lot of the time, and he's somehow able to find that damage. I'm sure TaeJa also going to be pretty strong with his control here.
Oh, certainly so. I mean, like, even if you know a Banshee is coming in TvT, it can still just do so much damage. Because, you know, one turret is never going to be enough to zone it out from the mineral line.
Yeah, when you get a Viking out, it becomes a bit easier, especially because you can use the detection range of the missile turrets to push it out of the way. And even making a Raven behind this is TaeJa.
Yeah, well, I guess why not? Still finding more and more damage here. I think he's not in the right position to help deal with his Banshee. 4 SCVs going down, actually. That's actually pretty impressive damage, considering MorroW knew exactly where it was coming from.
Yeah, look at this. The second Banshee coming in the back, going to get 2 extra kills and just continuously stop the gas mining in that main.
Ooh. Pulls it back just in time.
Gets another kill. Yeah. He's going to kill the gas.
Oh, one Banshee does go down, but he gets the gas in the main base.
Oh boy, already so much critical damage coming down here.
Yeah, he certainly found his way. And look at this. Marines and a tank and a Banshee coming down to the natural. Maybe just to secure it, or maybe we'll push the issue here. I'm not sure just yet.
Well, he's still got this Banshee out here. Going to get another kill. This is one of the things you can do in TvT. There's always going to be an SCV building some buildings somewhere in the base. So as long as you keep your Banshees alive, you can really just get continuous kills over and over. Although they come slowly, it's still...
They do come slowly, but he's going to start working on Marines now. Maybe he wants to force out a scan, but MorroW doesn't look to have any.
Yeah, MorroW's been very, very slow with those scans. Uh-oh. Raven so close there to flying into the Widow Mine.
So he's going to bait it out with the poor Marine.
And goodbye, Widow Mine.
Still a pretty healthy army from MorroW, though. Does have a tank set up as well as that bunker, so it's going to be hard-pressed to try and push the front.
The Banshee's still getting damage done.
He's going to claim another refinery at this rate.
Looks like 8 kills down there in total by this Banshee. Another one coming in. Looking for some damage possibly on the Marines.
Still no detection here. He didn't make a turret next to this bunker, which is a big problem. He could actually start working on these tanks as well. You know, if he gets a tank down at this kind of situation,
he's got to be careful to not get in detection range at the same time. Finally going to force out a scan.
Still completely worth it for that Banshee. Another one is already out, another one on the way. Just keep them coming. If they're doing this kind of damage, there's no point in stopping.
Yeah. It's funny how a lot of the top Terran players in a certain matchup will play a very similar style. If you hit the names here, I would be fooled, and I would even think that TaeJa is MorroW right now.
Oh man, can you imagine trying to cast a game with MorroW and MorroW? I couldn't do it, Valdez.
I don't want to do it, man.
Couldn't do it.
We'll get Nathanius over here. He'll cast that one. I'm sure he wouldn't mind a TvT.
I'm sure he'd love that.
Yeah. Reaper is gonna somehow sneak his way into the main.
Banshee heading on up, and once again, scan goes down to scout out what is actually at that natural. Looks like MorroW has made his way out, moving towards TaeJa's base. He might have gotten a quick view of that with that Banshee.
What is going on, man? MorroW just cannot stop that Banshee harass. The second the army moves out of position, the Banshees come in on 2 directions.
And look at this, 4 tanks set up for TaeJa. He almost got this refinery. Is he going to get it? It looks like he will.
Oh, he gets it.
Forces a scan out as well.
And look at this. He's going to Oh. He's that scan in the main, and he's not going to have a scan here. The Banshees alone are killing MorroW right now.
Very fortunate for MorroW that the Banshee did run out of energy. He has to be a little bit more careful here. But, yeah, I mean, TaeJa's, he's up 20 supply from Banshee harassment, Valdez.
That's all we've seen so far. There was one small push out, but I would argue that TaeJa lost more units there.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Looks like this Banshee will get hunted down there. The Vikings have found it. And any second.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. TaeJa on the back of this, he's just powering up. A lot of bio continuously making those tanks at the same time. He's going to have Stim and +1 ahead of MorroW.
Yeah, everything kind of going his way at this point. He's in such a commanding place. He's going to go for a double drop by the looks of things. Kind of got scattered out by that Marine there.
Yeah. TaeJa just in a fantastic position once again. Oh, he's not paying attention. He's going to lose these Vikings for free.
For free. Very nicely done there. He can resume the Banshee harassment now if he wants to. There's no real hard anti-air for them. Marine going to stop this third base from building for a second there, but at least he gets the scout off. He knows exactly what TaeJa's plan is for the future here.
Small amount of damage there, I suppose. But MorroW just not in a great position here. It's going to happen, guys.
No, that's okay. We are seeing a big move up from TaeJa. There's a lot of bio tanks here. He's got such a bigger army at this point, still up 20 supply. And he might even be looking to make his way into the main base. There's a tank there that he can simply drop on top of.
Yeah. I love the scans. He sees the entire base. He sees the positioning of every unit that MorroW has on the map. And here we go. The drop comes in. All the tanks get into perfect position. He takes out the tank in the main. And now the production is camped. And TaeJa in a commanding lead.
Everything's in shambles. His production is getting annihilated. That star pod is gone. The factory also in range of these tanks. They're going to siege up. They're going to push the Marines back a little bit, but that SCV line is completely open.
A nice little counter drop, but it's going to be totally cleaned up. TaeJa's just got enough stuff back here to defend it. Takes out everything. And now even sieging that mineral line.
Yep, down goes the factory. Going to get a scout. With that, Medivac sees the one tank in range. Down goes the command center as well from Marines.
Yeah. Moonlay, this might just be the most one-sided series we've seen so far. Well, TaeJa is just looking fantastic.
TaeJa's looking great. Like his Banshee harass is certainly on another level this game. So very unfortunate for MorroW. There's no real coming back from here, unfortunately. I mean, when you've lost one of your bases at this rate in a mirror match like this, you're so far behind in economy, supply, army, positioning. There's no way you're going to find out. It's just about TaeJa trying to close this one out.
Yeah, 60 supply up now. He's going to get his tanks into a great position. Going to use his medevac here to just try to get the scouting down here. And MorroW is going to attempt to, poke in, try to do some damage, do whatever he can. But I think it's just a matter of time before TaeJa pushes in and deals with this push.
Well, here we go. Looks like he's going to be pushing his way in. And the last units of MorroW is going to get wiped out. GG.
TaeJa taking a really dominant first game. Looking fantastic, as we said. Sorry, guys, we had a small problem with our sound. We got that issue fixed, though, very quickly there. So we're back.
We're back. Right at the end there. So
TaeJa's not looking happy there in the background.
Shaking his head, man. I don't know what's going on in that game, but that's a little bit of a spoiler in case you guys wondering what's going to be happening with the Hostum versus Hyun.
Yeah. Well, we thought Hyun would be pretty favored in that series. Those guys do have a bit of history behind them too.
Yeah, that's right.
But man, that was so one-sided.
Man, MorroW just took way too much damage from those Banshees.
Yeah.
Simply, like, he needed to have like a Raven out. He needed with those Vikings and just chasing these Banshees, especially in that main base, that one refinery. He gave up so many resources, like so many SCVs went down, and the refinery died twice.
Yeah,
like that should never happen.
Even with Vikings out on the map and 3 missile turrets, he was still finding damage somehow. The instant, I want to say it again, that MorroW would move out of the base, 2 Banshees came in at both bases to do damage. It's like TaeJa had Titan's grip on that game.
Yeah, he did. He looked fantastic. So we'll be jumping into game 2 very shortly as well. And
Yeah,
see
looks
if
like
MorroW
it's going to be Iron Fortress.
Iron Fortress. All right, all right.
Another big map.
Another big map. A hard map for MorroW to go mech on as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if we're actually going to be seeing that this series at all.
I don't think so. I think TaeJa, if I were him, I would just go for Banshees again. MorroW had so much trouble with it in the first game.
Yeah.
You know, just do it again.
It's a very solid style, and I mean, if it's going to work, just keep doing it.
Yeah. Just attack your opponent's weaknesses. Just go for it. It's going to work. You know, these guys are loaded up here, getting into game number 2, guys, on Iron Fortress. And down here in the bottom left, in the red, our Terran player is MorroW.
And up here in the top left, the blue Terran player, it is TaeJa, Team Liquid.
Exchanging GGs, GLs, and have funs.
As you do. Well, it is going to be a short distance by air. It is going to be top left versus bottom left. So
yeah, kind of just looks like the last game. You know, just switching the positions of the 2 players.
Yeah, very, very similar. Banshee Harassment is going to do a lot of work once again. And TaeJa does have that very convenient flight path straight to the main base. So,
yeah.
CV is going to go for that same idea.
I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't. Both of these players are going to go for a gas first. Looks like a bit faster for MorroW.
Looks like, not a bad idea on this map too. Get out early factory, maybe get some Hellions out. We do usually see on these kind of wider open maps that Hellions do have a lot more playtime. Even against Protoss, you know, they do look for run-bys and whatnot.
Yeah, so both players just kind of be mirroring here. It just looks like MorroW with that faster gas. Going to get exactly 20 extra gas ahead. Just going to work into their builds a bit better.
Yeah. Well, from here, it's going to be interesting to see how exactly MorroW is going to approach this one. You know, he did take a lot of damage from Banshees last game. Just the harassment alone kind of tore him apart.
Yeah.
And TaeJa kind of followed it up with just simple, pushing when the army was big enough. Is MorroW going to perhaps go for the same kind of style this time, or is he going to maybe go for a bit of a harder sort of maybe early Viking? He's going to throw down the factory very quickly.
He's going to have that extra gas to go for the Reaper, and there he goes. That is the build with that faster gas. And you know, what I would actually recommend tomorrow would be maybe like a defensive kind of go for the Stargate with Tech Lab and get a Raven out very fast.
Yeah.
Even.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to see Raven play from MorroW. If he isn't going to go for the same sort of style, like Banshee style or anything like that, yeah, just if you're going to play the safe style, get the Raven, shut down these Banshees. Get out a couple of Vikings behind it, and you're just fine.
Yeah, because sometimes in games, you know, a player will take a lot of damage or like a small amount of damage from a certain build, and they'll be like, okay, I just have to remember that. But MorroW got like totally shut out by one strategy that TaeJa did in the last game. So I feel like directly going against it wouldn't be a bad idea. But
and look at this, he's doing the exact same style. We do see that Starport going down and a Tech Lab behind it. So we should see Banshees once again from TaeJa. He's playing that very straight up style.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what MorroW is going to do to counter this. Looks like for now just making a lot of Reapers and a bunch of Hellions at the same time. No add-ons really just yet, just going to be making one at a time.
Yeah, he's going to scout out this SCV, shut it down. It's going to give TaeJa enough sort of warning that Hellions are on the map. He's looking for some aggression here.
Yeah, what does TaeJa really have at home? It's pretty unfortunate, by the way, that MorroW's only getting the scout now. In the top left, being wrong twice in a row here.
Yeah, the lost scout. He's kind of waiting for that second Hellion before he tries to pick up the ramp. So it's going to be up to TaeJa to have a nice spread on his Marines. Takes no sort of AoE damage here.
And look at this. MorroW is going for his own Banshees with Cloak. This game could get very interesting.
Yeah, not a bad choice.
Yeah. By the way, really loving the block off here at the top of the ramp. Although he is going to lose that SCV and it is not going to complete.
Yeah, 5 Marines going to try and deal with this. One very low Hellion right now.
Yeah, he really needs that Banshee to come out and help deal with this harass. It's going to be pretty annoying before this happens.
Here we go. It's nice focus fire on that weak Hellion as well.
Yeah.
Banshee going to make its way down.
And a good pullback by MorroW, you know, force that Banshee to go, try to find some damage, and then maybe go for the continued harass here at the front.
And look at this, we're seeing a Raven this time from TaeJa. I think we saw it last game too, actually. Oh,
ooh, nice split there at the end, though.
But it's going to do very well against what MorroW has planned. You know, Banshees of his own coming in.
Yeah, he makes one Banshee, but a Viking on the way too. He's got that engineering bay up now, but TaeJa did send that Banshee. Here it is. It's going to be coming into the main now, and Cloak is finished.
Cloak is finished, and Tart only starting now, so a lot of SCVs could potentially go down here.
Man.
MorroW's going to make his way up. There's a bunch of weakened Marines, but he's got to micro this Banshee or it's just going to go down.
He's flying straight into the Marines. He's trying to skirt around the edges. Finally, the Cloak is complete, but it doesn't matter. There's a Raven, and it goes down. And look at this. It's the opposite side of the map. 9 SCVs, 10 SCVs, and still no turret.
Yeah, so much damage has been done already. 12 SCVs, essentially a mirror build, but MorroW just not microing his Banshee well enough, running into Marines that he could have one-shot as well, mind you. They were on half HP. They took a lot of damage before this happened, before the Banshee was even close to this base. If he was paying attention, he could have microed them out of position, maybe wiped out the Marines before he worked on those SCVs and got some real damage done.
And now TaeJa just in a huge commanding position. It looks like he wants to just push across the map and end the game. And I'm not sure what MorroW's going to have here to stop it.
Oh, it's good. I wonder if he can actually end the game from this kind of position. There's not much here. There's only like a couple of Marines, a Hellion, and a Viking, but, well, maybe he can. That is quite a number of Marines.
I think he should be able to, but we'll see. Pushing up here into the top. He's going to get that vision down first.
Widowmine's going to be in position as well. Look, he just completely gave up the ramp. So MorroW's in a bad place. Oh, that would have been so funny if that Widowmine went under the barracks.
It does get down regardless. Looks like it gets the SCV building the command center.
Probably a big waste. He'd want that to completely zone out this army. But look at this. He's going to start work on the reactor to the starport. Even landing the Viking here. Horrible place from MorroW.
He's going to push forward. He has to fight this. He can't be losing this much production at this point in time. But TaeJa in a commanding position now, taking unit after unit out. The tank does pop out here for MorroW.
He's going to force it back.
That's like time number 6.
That's number 6. Oh! Big hit from that mine. It resets. Gets one last hit off, and that's the last thing MorroW needs. Well, tank's going to stabilize him for now, but we are seeing TaeJa take that expansion. Some anti-air army coming across the map there. Raven and 3 Vikings to help out. Maybe look for some revenge kills here. There's a Banshee heading down that way. Gonna slide on by. Oh.
This is what TaeJa did before. He's like, okay, I know what you got out on the map. I'm just gonna wait until they leave.
Raven getting some hits in.
Ooh, almost takes out that Viking, but just based on these positions, the Marines can get close enough to that ledge that they can defend for that. So the Banshee is coming back here. There is a missile turret in the main, but we've seen how that doesn't really help out too much at times here against the micro of TaeJa.
Yeah, if you don't have anything else there to help out, it's still going to pick away, especially at that refinery and the refinery SCVs. He's finding the damage. He's going to actually really mess up the production. Bunkers, barracks building being denied for the time being. Everything is getting slowed down again because MorroW is just so out of position. He's looking for aggression right now.
He's trying to kill TaeJa, I guess, in one big fell swoop. You know, maybe a bit of a desperate push at this time. TaeJa's going to scan that and be like, what? That's what you've got?
That's all you've got right now. You've got 1 tank, 5 Marines, and a couple of Vikings.
Takes out the Widowmine with the tank. The Banshee is still getting damage done.
Oh, man. 9 more SCVs going down behind him.
GG.
It's going to call it.
That's going to be it. TaeJa takes a really quick 2-0 there.
It certainly is the most one-sided series we've seen today, Valdez.
Oh, yeah. We were expecting a win there from TaeJa, but not quite that fast.
Quite the beatdown of it. It's going to secure his spot for tomorrow. Well played by MorroW to make it this far as well.
Yeah, not bad. Top 16 finish. Pretty good, and running into TaeJa here at this point at time, you can't really be that sad.
Indeed, Nathaniel's trying to speak. You just can't hear what he says.
Can't hear him, sorry.
He's kind of lost for words right now at that match. Very inspiring play from TaeJa.
I'm sure he's got so much to say, but he just can't say it.
Still can't hear you, Nathaniel. I'm sorry, mate.
It's all good.
It's like it's just the salmon show this time, fellas. We're going to be the ones closing this one out. I don't know.
Wax, can you speak?
Oh,
you got
hey.
a mic?
What up?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man.
How's it going?
Yeah,
How'd you feel about that?
That match was like somehow like even bloodier than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't really expecting it to get that one-sided. We thought MorroW might have more of a shot, or at least mix it up a little bit more, but just getting completely...
Yeah, just the defensive micro wasn't there. Like the multitasking on defense got totally ripped apart there.
Oh, I hear what that is.
Okay, I'm no longer being impressed by the production crew. We do actually have TaeJa here to potentially hear some thoughts on that series and his tournament run, as we haven't really spoken to you or seen you at all in this tournament. How are you feeling about your experience here, your condition?
컨디션이 굉장히
Wait, we know you speak English.
한글로 할게요.
Alright, he insists on Korean.
Okay.
컨디션이 굉장히 좋지 않았는데
My condition was really poor.
다행히 다른 선수들에 비해 좀 쉬운 라인을 타게 된 것 같아요. 그래서 8강에 진출하게 된 것 같아요.
So my condition was really poor, but compared to other players, I had a pretty easy route. So I think I was able to go to the quarterfinals.
Should we ask? You always say that your condition's really poor, though. Does that actually mean anything?
이번에는 진짜로 많이 안 좋은 것 같아요. 컨디션이.
This time for real, my condition actually is
For
pretty
reals
bad.
this time, guys. For reals.
It's for real.
Well, who do you feel like is the strongest opponent on the other side of the bracket?
Curious.
Curious?
I hate Jorg.
Yeah.
Curious himself says that like he doesn't seem that confident in himself either. Like no one at this tournament actually seems like confident. No one's coming out here and saying, I'm going to win this. Like how do you feel about the field here?
뭐 큐리어스 선수랑 해서 최근에 이긴 적이 없기 때문에 뭐 그런 말 할 자격 된다고 생각해요.
Well, I can say that because like I haven't won a game I played against Curious lately, so.
I guess that's somewhat understandable. So you're just gonna go into tomorrow just winging it. You're not worried about like what's your goal coming into this tournament? What were your expectations?
일단 여기 오기 전에 목표는 딱 상금만 받자 이거였는데 다음 상대가 또 잘하는 선수잖아요. 그래가지고 되게 어려울 것 같은데 뭐 재밌게 경기하고 싶어요.
So before I came here, my goal was just to finish in the money. But my next opponent is going to be pretty good, so I just want to play fun games.
All right. Well, I'd say that's more than respectable enough. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to ask TaeJa?
No, that's pretty much it. I wish I could ask something about the games, but they were just a little
I mean,
too
one-sided. It was like, well,
the games were very one-sided, so there's not too much else to look into that. You like Banshees? We gathered that much. So thank you very much, TaeJa, for coming on and sharing your thoughts with us. Of course, we are rounding out. We are done today with the round of 16. I don't know if we have a finalized bracket to look at to actually give you guys a full rundown on how everything ended up. But it's been a really exciting match. Actually, we do. Wow, it's all right here. So I guess Hyun and Harstam are still just finishing things out. But we have True and Hero. On the other side, TaeJa could potentially go up against either of them if he's able to win his quarterfinal match. We have Patience going up against Fantasy on the other side. And then Marine Lord versus Curious. So far, just one non-Korean in the top 8 following that trend.
Yeah, and we did see Harstam shaking his head a little bit when we got some sneak peeks at when we were looking at TaeJa, and I think Harstam was next to him, and it wasn't looking good. So I
seemed a bit frustrated.
I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
So has anyone changed their mind this tournament? It's like so far, anyone has just come up as, hey, this guy could win it all.
I'm still on the Fantasy train myself.
Fantasy train / I hope Curious train.
I think like.
Well, I feel like after seeing that TvT, I will say that Fantasy will be a much harder opponent for TaeJa compared to MorroW. But I still feel like his TvT is pretty on point. He's pretty famous for being pretty strong in that matchup too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see like even a Fantasy TaeJa final.
Yeah, I mean, if TaeJa plays like that for the rest of his games, like, for sure, he can make it to the finals. Like, he's looked great in those series.
Yeah, I mean, he made a good point himself, though, that, you know, as far as his bracket run so far, he hasn't been tested as much as many of the other Koreans in actually getting to this stage. But it does give us that interesting, you know, we still don't actually know how well TaeJa's playing. Like, that's, you know, and considering his insistence on, no, guys, I'm actually playing really poorly this time, I guess it's kind of a fun thing. But, you know, we're down to basically just the top 8. You know, it's going to be cool. We're going to be bringing out all the matches tomorrow on the main stage. Everyone's going to be, you know, playing in front of the crowd. It's going to be awesome to bring out the finals. We're going to crown a champion. Which part are you guys most excited about?
I want to see how far Marine Lord can go here, because on his side, he's going to play Curious, right? If he comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, he said even if it's a Korean, he wanted the TVZ. So
yeah,
if he can back that up,
he's got to put his money where his mouth is.
That's right. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to seeing how Marine Lord's going to be playing, and I'm still going to be back in True and Curious because I do love my Zerg players in the finals.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I want to see more like televised games from True, you know, that weren't like just defending the all-ins of Arium from before. I want to see him just like play a straight up, you know, awesome game. That's really what I'm looking forward to as well.
There's a lot of players that I feel like we're still waiting for, like, to see them truly tested as well. Like they've had these games so far and they've been a little wonky. Like True had a wonky sort of series. That last series was definitely a massive beatdown. There was no real tests there. So a lot of these players we're curious about just haven't really been pushed to the limit yet. So we're not sure if they deserve to be in that finals just yet.
That makes a lot of sense. For those of you guys wondering what the schedule for tomorrow will be like, we are going to go through every last game in this tournament. We'll kick things off at 2 o'clock. We'll have Patience playing against Fantasy. Then we'll go straight into Marine Lord against Curious, True versus Hero. And from then on, it's just the last couple of matches. Of course, we're still waiting for the result of Harstem's match as he is in game at the moment. But a lot of great StarCraft all starting at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait for it, actually. We're going to be up there on that big stage casting some awesome StarCraft.
Yeah. Todd will be here to help pull his weight as well.
Oh, yeah, finally, Todd.
Hashtag Game Trader, man.
He did have to come in like 5 or 6 hours before us,
That's
though.
true.
So he paid for his loss of passion.
He did. And those are going to be best of 5 games in the round of 8?
Yeah, it's all best of 5s from here on out.
Perfect. This is going to be a great sort of test of these players as well. I can't wait to see them more fleshed out. And
I can't wait to see that Marine Lord versus Curious best of 5. Just see like Marine Lord staying back, playing mech. We're going to be up there for like 4 hours.
See how,
okay.
Give us your estimates, guys. Tweet hashtag DH Open. Let us know how many Ravens will be built tomorrow in Marine Lord's games, or if he'll even get that far. But that's it here from us here at DreamHack Valencia 2015. We'll see you guys at around 2 o'clock tomorrow. Another big thanks, of course, to our awesome sponsors that make all of this possible, them being ISO, Intel, Razer, and Monster Energy. Has put on a good tournament. I think we've had a really good day of results. A lot of surprises, some interesting runs. The Lone American. So it'll only get better tomorrow. We'll see you guys for DreamHack Day 2, where we crown a champion.